Tim Van Schmidt on November 11, 1918, my grandfather was on the street in Boston when news of the armistice broke out, signaling the end of World War I. To commemorate the day, he bought a couple of newspapers. Many decades later, I found the newspapers in Grandpa's trunk in Illinois. He gave them to me, and I have kept them safe ever since. Photo by Tim Van Schmidt. Headlines: Boston American on November 11, 1918. Recently, I took these old newspapers, now 102 years old, and gingerly opened them page by page. This was a true glimpse into a bygone world, but similar in some ways to today. In 1918, the world had just experienced a devastating war. In 2020, it feels like we have been going through a war on many fronts, politically and socially. But further, 1918 was the year of the deadly Spanish Influenza outbreak. In 2020, it is the CO-VID-19 outbreak that has stunned the world, and it is just as deadly. It was widely recognized then that November 11, 1918, was a momentous day, and one Representative Charles Hartshorn didn't waste any time in immediately filing a petition with the legislature that very day to declare the date a legal holiday, Victory Day. It became a holiday all right. In 1919, people worldwide observed the first Armistice Day, on November 11, in remembrance of the end of World War I and those who served in the military in that catastrophic war. It became a legal federal holiday in 1938 in the United States. The holiday became officially known as Veterans Day in 1954, now honoring all military veterans. Photo by Tim Van Schmidt. Ad warnings of the flu. November 11, 1918. The newspapers my grandfather bought in 1918 were the Boston Evening Globe, with huge headlines declaring Armistice Terms, and all draft calls are cancelled, and the Boston American. Here's a look at what was going on. On top of it all was the proclamation made by President Woodrow Wilson: everything for which America fought has been accomplished. It will now be our fortunate duty to assist by example, by sober, friendly counsel, and by material aid in the establishment of just democracy throughout the world. The first victory baby was born in Dorchester at 3 o'clock in the morning, 10 minutes after the news was flashed from Washington of the signing of the armistice, and the baby and mother were reported as doing finely. Celebrations exploded everywhere. The newspaper declared, "Boston is wrapped in joy." Bells were ringing, whistles blowing, and shots were fired. Reports claimed men, women, and children were on the streets at an early hour, and everybody was happy. Impromptu parades seemed to be rampant. The stock market and factories closed, and the sale of liquor was also shut down. War news included grim lists of American war casualties, listed by name and hometown, and the shocking international toll that numbered 10 million.